Welcome, friends. This is Dr. Jaitly on your favorite website, MuniMeterHealth.com, which is really dedicated to helping you understand the medical education, patient education in order to improve the clinical outcomes. In fact, it's been clearly shown that if you combine the medical education, patient education, you will have better outcomes in your clinical practices. So welcome again to MuniMeterHealth, your favorite site on your favorite video channels on your social platforms that you've been using now. So without any further ado, like I always say, I delve into the subject matter right away and bringing you into a new subject. We are, by the way, doing WARCOM 2, which is now an exciting drawing board for me. And here I've, for the sake of the time, I've actually drawn a lot of stuff here for you and written some stuff for you as well. So this way we can quickly go ahead and start looking at the chalkboard. Today we're going to be talking about what is meditation and how does it impact the heart. Well, obviously, it's a new subject, and I just got back from a trip from Asia and Europe, and newer findings, new video vignettes will be coming soon down the line. But the very fact that I started off with meditation is primarily because I think it's a forgotten art which has been there for ages and practiced with yoga normally. But yoga and heart we have discussed on a different video. But here today we're going to be talking about what is meditation. Well, first let's get to the definition. Definition is primarily that it's a stance. In other words, you get into a mode, you bring your body into a mode, just like your remote control in your that you hold for your TV all the time. You put it into a mode, or you put your telephone into your mobile phone into an airplane mode or non-airplane mode, etc. So you bring your body, your mind, your thinking, your functions, and all of that into a stance which is less. In other words, motionless, thinking less, function less, and of course there are no external or internal stimuli, and therefore the psychosocial effects are also minimized or they're lessened. So when all of that happens, you're achieving the goals of your meditation. Again, you can't totally think zero, I can't say that, but thinking less. In other words, you're bringing down your thinking to only one little thing. Like you may be thinking of a very, very important idol in your life. You may be thinking of maybe perhaps the flame that's on that little candle that's burning where you're sitting in a quiet room, or you may be thinking about the ripples as they're coming across the pond, or you may be thinking about the waterfall and hearing that as the only stimulus at all, which is very soothing to you, as you know. So all of those instances are actually a stance, but the minimum requirement is you have to be doing it at least for 15 minutes on a daily basis, perhaps several hours. Now, several hours is not practical in our working class populations that we commonly see, but then 15 minutes and over is certainly very, very important. 15 minutes, believe me, out of 24 hours, everybody should be able to find, and I can't emphasize more than that. Now, how does it impact? Why do we do it? Well, the question is, why do we do it? Is because our day-to-day life is very restless. We are markedly stressed from work and situations, etc. So anxiety, like the traffic, the getting on time, continuing the meetings, what will be the outcomes of the meetings, etc. And sometimes we are agitated, and we are also sleepless as a result. So when things don't go the way as you want it to, sometimes at the end of the day, you feel a little more anxious, a little more agitated at times, and therefore you're sleepless also. So the benefits are very clear. What it does is, the meditation really what it does is, it makes you feel more calmer. It sort of gives you a restful mind as well as a restful body for those 15 minutes, and sort of gets you, resets or reboots your computer. If have you ever tried rebooting your computer when it's like overloaded with too many files? You know what happens, right? Sort of crashes and doesn't work and freezes because the computer is telling you, hey, give me a time to sort of reset. So you go back, and the same thing, you do that for your own body. You'd like to actually reset it. So it sort of de-stresses you also, and then of course you sleep sound. All it takes is only 5 to 6 hours, mind you. 5 to 6 hours of solid, good, sound sleep, and that's enough. You don't need to sleep 10 hours. You don't need to make it to 8, 10, 12 hours. That's too useless and too much. The body does not require it. All you need to sleep about 6 hours, and that's good enough. And wake up in the morning early, fresh, and then start your day again. Now, all of this is really not manifest. All these benefits, what we just discussed, will not manifest on day 1, day 2, day 3. No, it's going to take about 12 weeks at least. So basically you need to have it repetitively perform the meditation, and the effects are really after 12 weeks, if you will. And then, of course, if you continue doing throughout your life, the repetitiveness will really make the meditation work throughout your life. And obviously, all of these benefits that we just talked about will be part and parcel of yourself. Now, how is it achieved? I just said you have to find a very serene and a quiet area. You can go into your backyard, you can go into your balcony or your morning hours where things are not happening too much, and all you hear is possibly the birds waking up or chirping, or you could hear maybe the stream running or some waterfall perhaps if you go by, or go to the nearest park. If you have a pond someplace nearby, you can go there, or so find, or even sometimes just in the quietness of your own one corner of your room where you just light up a candle, maybe perhaps with some fragrance if you like, and then try to concentrate in that dark room and on that flame that's burning. And then, of course, try to see that how well you can really concentrate on the idol that you hope to see, whether it's God, whether it's a parent, whether it's your teacher, whoever the person whom you think is. Just try to concentrate only on him or her, and you'll be surprised at how much you'll be able to achieve that calmness, the ambience. And of course, all of this should be with minimal stimuli, no external or internal stimuli at all. And then you may also choose to concentrate on breathing, which I like to do. Sometimes breathing itself is a nice way to sort of bringing your thinking down to nearly zero. It'll never be zero, but at least you're thinking nothing else except your own breaths, and sometimes your own breaths, which is about 16 to 18 times a minute normally a person breathes. That should be enough to really help you meditate. So MuniMeterHealth.com brings you all these small little video vignettes primarily to improve your human heart awareness, and of course makes you feel healthy, and so that this way you don't get involved with any illnesses. And of course, if you have an illness, then also it sort of makes you feel more healthier. So that's the whole point. Now, in circulation point of view, I wanted to mention that as far as circulation is concerned, the effects are very clear because we are discussing heart rate sort of tends to normalize. Blood pressure and cardiac output also do the same. Stroke volume, which is the volume by which the left ventricle is actually pumping blood into the aorta up here, each beat, that stroke volume gets optimized, and that's exactly what you want. It's like your car running all day, and then you bring it to the garage inside your house and your driveway and park it, and overnight sort of resets, and then the next morning again ready to go. What if the car was running 24 hours a day? That would be detrimental for the engine also. So you need to have some resting. You need to have a reset mechanism, I call it, and that reset is very, very important. It's also called the downtime, if you will. And sometimes the downtime could be early in the morning, could be at the end of the day. It doesn't really matter, as long as you can find that quiet, serene place where you can actually use your calm, your ambience, and make sure your stimuli are minimal, and then you're able to concentrate on your breathing, as I said, only. So all these benefits, as I said, the calm, the restfulness, and de-stresses, and making yourself sleep sound, I think all of these are benefits of the meditation. And as I said, basically you require only to get into a stance for about 15 minutes and complete all of these features first, and then begin your meditation, as a matter of fact. So thank you again for watching MuniMeter Health. Stay tuned for more. This is Dr. Jaitly from New York. So long.